Hello everybody, welcome back to this Minecraft series. In this video, this is part 21 of the series, we're going to be making some more GUIs in the game, such as the title screen and some more in-game GUIs. So, the last video, we made the hotbar, as you can see over here, and we can place whatever block we want to by clicking the keys, the number keys on our keyboard, and then placing them. And one thing that you may have noticed is that the FPS right now is really good. So it's like 60 FPS almost always. And the reason for that is because I've actually switched to a much better computer. Recently I got the latest MacBook Air, which is obviously a lot better than the previous MacBook which I had, which was like around 8 or 7 years old. Because of that, the CPU and the GPU is much better in this computer, and you can run and process more difficult tasks. And as a result, we can see the gameplay is much better. So we've found out that it's not the browser's problem really, it's actually the computer's problem. The better the computer you have, the more smooth this game should run. Okay? So obviously in some situations, basically sometimes, you can see right over there, it's like 59 FPS now. So sometimes it drops by like 1 or 2 FPS, or maybe by like max 5 or something. But if you have a really good gaming computer, this should be running at like 60 FPS like constantly. Anyway, so this is where we left off, and what our result should be is this. This is what I've coded for this video, and I'm going to teach you guys how to make this. So you can see there's a title screen. Let me just refresh. So there's a title screen, and it should change. The background should change. Yeah, there you go. So there are like a few pictures that I've selected so that this background changes. This is a really nice picture. I like it. And the only functionality that we're going to be coding in this game, like for these buttons, is the new game. So if you click new game, then just a random world should appear, just like this. And then you can also click escape, and then go to save and quit title. Okay, but obviously it doesn't save anything, and you can't load any game, and that's because of because I'm going to save that till the next video, which is part 22, and in that video we're going to be saving the world and loading the world. And maybe in future videos we're going to be making the options button. It's not very, it's not like the priority, but if you want you can code it yourself. So let's dive right into it. Okay guys, so the first thing that we have to do is keep all of these in-game sort of HTML elements inside one div, and then make it hidden. And the reason for that is so that what we see now is hidden at the start, because we only want to see the title screen, right? So go ahead, not the script ones, because the scripts are like, they're not, you can't really see them. So take these, tab it, and then surround it by a div. So this up here, and so there you go. So now everything that we see in the screen right now, apart from the canvas, is it's like surrounded by a div tag. And now we can give this an ID and make some styles over here. So let's go ahead and give this guy an ID of game screen GUI, and then go ahead in the CSS part and do hashtag game screen GUI, and then make it display none. Okay, so now if you save this and refresh, look what happens. You can play, but like you can't see any of this stuff. So you can't see the cursor and you can't see the hotbar. So that's good. So now I've written some code, like I told you guys, and I'm just going to paste some of it over here, right over here. And this basically shows all the HTML elements that you're going to be seeing in the title screen. Okay, so you can see there are 6 images which correspond to those, those switching background images that I told you. And there are 3 buttons. One is new game, load game, and options. And in this video, we're going to be like programming this new game button. And next video, load game button. So, and then I also have this Minecraft logo. And all of these pictures you can find in this in your Minecraft folder. You can just get this from GitHub, because I'm going to be updating the GitHub repository. So you can see I've added some more files. The first one is filesaver.js, which we're going to be using in the next video to save files. We might be using that, we'll see. And then I also have title screen, which basically shows all the 6 pictures that switch in the title screen. And then we have Minecraft font, so that, I don't know if you noticed, but this font is like Minecraft font, which is basically this file over here. It basically controls the fonts. And I downloaded that from the internet. And then this is Minecraft logo.png, which you can see over here. So all the files are over here, and now we just have to, just program them and get them from HTML and then program them. And you can access these by going to the GitHub repository. So we're back over here. We can see that all of the title screens are under a class called title screen, and all of these buttons are in a class called starting buttons, because they are the starting buttons that you see in the title screen. And I've also positioned these like their top, how far are they from the top, so 40%, 55%, and 70%. And now from here, you can go to CSS, and once again, I'm just going to paste the code. It's from here to over here. And basically what this does is all of the images that have the class title screen, remember these images over here, they're basically, you can have a position of absolute. From the top, they're going to be 0 pixels. From the left, they're going to be 0 pixels. And their width and height are such that they totally fit the window. Okay? And now to create the Minecraft font, you have to put this code over here, which is @fontface. Then you're basically naming the font, and you're like downloading the font onto HTML in a way. You know exactly, but yeah. And then, last but not least, let's see. These buttons over here, I've basically called the class .starting buttons and made their position absolute, the width a certain value, their height a certain value, and then from the left 42.5%. And the reason why I did 42.5% is so that they're exactly in the center, because their width is 15%. So if you do 15% divided by 2, which is 7.5%, and then add that to 42.5%, you'll get 50%, which is in the middle. And then border radius, so they look a bit curved. And the background also has to be like a grayish color, like it's in Minecraft. And then font size and the font family is what we had declared up here. And color white. So you can like change these parameters if you want, and suit your views and your likes. So the last one, so this is actually the last one, starting logo, which is, like I told you, the Minecraft starting logo. That's basically position absolute, width 50%, and left 25%. And once again, if you add 25 to this, which is the width divided by 2, you get 50%, which is right in the middle, 50%. So let's save this and refresh this file, and we can see right now, everything's pretty cool. We can't click any of this stuff, and you can see it says press blah 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 to exit, and that's because everything that you see here is actually it's above the game that we have made. So right now I'm actually moving. Right now I just placed a block, and you can see it's like calling this because I'm not breaking any block. But let's, like, if I go down and maybe, yeah, see, I just broke a block, and that's because the game is still running behind all of this, starting the screen, and you can see this is still here, which shows that the game is running. So we have to make some code so that the game doesn't run behind as we're in the title screen. So how do we do that? Let's just go to our JavaScript part and make a new variable here called var new game button, which is basically the new game button over here. We're basically accessing it using document.getElementBy ID, and we're setting it to a new variable over here. So now what we want to do is say new game button dot add event listener when it's clicked. Now when it's clicked, we have a function, and this function will run every time we click the new game button. So what's going to be inside this? Well, yep, you probably guessed it. It's all of this code that we wrote. Okay, so go ahead from the hotbar, go all the way down, and make sure you don't like skip anything or do anything weird. But go all the way down until you reach the game loop function, I think, like when you call the game loop function. Yeah, game loop, yeah, right over here. So copy that, delete it. So now we're back to like 124 lines of code, which was like in part 1. And then you just tab and paste it in here, okay? And you can indent it also, because right now it's sort of indented to the left. Yeah, over here. So indent. There you go. So now this basically ensures that every time we click this new game button over here, the game will actually start to run. So now if I save this, refresh, you can see this is gone. I can't click anywhere, so that my cursor is gone. So the game isn't running behind. It's only when I click new game, then it's running behind. But now we also have to remove this title screen every time we click new game, right? Well, that's pretty easy. All we have to do over here is add code so that the game GUI display is now not hidden. So we can see over here we set it to none, so it's like hidden. And we have to set the title screen GUI to hidden, so none. And that's pretty easy. All you have to do is document.getElementById, both of the GUI screens, and set one of them to none and the other one to block. So let's go ahead and save and refresh. Oh, not here, but here. Let's see. I'm clicking the screen, so that shows that the game isn't running behind. New game, and now it's here. Okay, and now we can like actually play the game and stuff. I mean, escape, it's like back to normal stuff. So now we have to go ahead and create the escape screen. Okay, and the escape screen is basically let me just go over here. Boom, that's the escape screen. When you click escape, then that happens. And one more piece of information that I'm gonna give to you guys is, in this game, there's not, like usually in Minecraft, there's a back to game button over here. We're not going to have that. We're just going to say that you have to click over here and you're back into the game. Just for simplicity, and I guess it's like a bit different. So once again, I'm going to paste some code over here, which is this over here. And you can see for each of like the sections, I'm putting them under a massive div, okay? Which is very useful and it's very clean. The code becomes very clean. So in this really big div, you could say, there's a escape screen GUI, which basically consists of a div, which is the escape screen. And this is basically a fade. So you can see over here, new game. When I click escape, you see how the screen becomes a bit more darker. So So right now it's like full brightness, and if I escape, it's like a bit more like less brighter. It's like less bright, okay? So that's basically what this does, this div. And then I have two buttons, which correspond to the options button and the save and quit to title button. And in this video, we're only going to be programming the quit to title part of the save and quit to title button. And once again, I'm just going to paste some CSS code over here. These three sections over here. So we have the escape screen, which is this div, and it's basically position absolute, width 100%, height 100%, and then background is like black, but then it has an opacity of 0.1, so we can see through it. Okay, if you want, you can make it darker or make it like a lot less darker. Yeah. So, and then we have an escape screen GUI, display none, because we want this whole thing to not be visible at the start or during the gameplay. And then we have escape buttons, which is, you're basically doing the same thing as we did in the starting buttons. You're just styling them and making its font equal to Minecraft and color white and so on. So right now, if we actually click escape, none of these buttons or this screen will appear because we have to code that in JavaScript. So go to the JavaScript part and go all the way down to the event listeners for the locking of your mouse. So that's over here. So go here. I'm just going to paste some code. So boom. So all I've added is this line and then this line over here. And it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just saying when the mouse is locked, so when you're playing the game, then make sure that the escape screen is not visible, so it's none. And when you've unlocked your mouse and basically when you're not playing the game and you're in the escape screen, then make sure that the escape screen is visible. And this was always there, okay? So now save and refresh over here. So refresh, new game, we can place blocks, stuff. Okay, can destroy blocks. Okay, and now if I click escape, you can see it appears up here, and you can see it became a bit darker than before. But now if I go back just like that, and we're back. See, so escape, click here, you're back. Escape, click here, you're back. Okay, and save and quit title, that still doesn't work. You can see if I click it like over here, I actually sometimes go back to the game, and that's because I'm clicking the body of the web page, right? So that's why I'm going back to this game. And the reason, the way that we're gonna fix that is basically we're gonna reload the page when I click save and quit the title, so that it becomes like this. Like I click it and then it reloads and comes back to here. One sort of bug, it's not really a bug, but something that we have to fix is that at the start of the game, your control, like your mouse, isn't locked. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me try to find it. It's in clicking, so it's over here. So go ahead and copy this and paste it over here. So this basically ensures that when you load the game, like when you make a new game, your controls are already locked. So your mouse is already sort of playing the game. So you don't have to click the game to play the game at the start. Yeah. So right now we can still move if we're in the escape screen GUI. So let me just show you what I mean. If I click escape, I can still move. Like I can't rotate my mouse, but I can still move. Okay, and that's the problem that we have to fix right now. It's pretty easy. All we have to go to is the update function, put all of this, all the movement code in if statement. So these four like if statements, tab them, and then put them inside another if statement, just like that, and then say that if the controls dot is locked, so only if the controls is locked, then you can move. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out. New game, we can move now, escape, and now we have to click to move. But now, while I'm in the escape screen, I can't move. Okay, so I have to like go here and then do. Okay, so that works. But now we also have to do the same thing to jumping. Okay, so right now we can actually jump still. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the jumping part of the code, which is in key pressed, I think. Key down. Yeah, if controls, if e.key equals controls.jump, and can jump is true, and controls.is locked is true. Okay, so if you're in the game, you're playing the game, if your mouse is locked, then only then you can jump. Okay, and that makes sense. So new game, right now we can move everything, and escape, can't look around, can't move, and can't jump. Perfect. Okay, so that works. And guys, another sort of bug, it's not really a bug, but another thing that we have to fix is at the very start of the game, our block is like null. So like we're not holding any block. So we have to make sure that at the very start of the game, you're holding a block. And we can do that by simply creating a new variable. We can do it over here, for example, and say var block to be placed is hotbar, like you're accessing the hotbar array, and it's going to be slot -1. Okay, so in this case, slot is like the first block, and 1 minus 1 is 0, so it's like the 0th index of the hotbar, which is also the first block in an array. So yeah, and this block to be placed variable is familiar. You can see it over here. So we'll go ahead and delete it. And guys, another thing that we have to fix, which is similar to this issue, is that when we, like right now, even though we have a block at the very start of the game, it won't show that in the slot. So for example, if I save and refresh, new game, you can see I have a selected block, but it's not showing that in black over here. So let's just go ahead and add this bit of code, which is very, very similar to this code. All I have done is just copied it and sort of made a few changes, which is basically, I just said if instead of this, I said, instead of this condition, I wrote if it's slot is equal to i.toString. Okay, so if the iteration object or something is equal to the slot number, the very initial slot number, and then everything else is basically the same. So now if we save and refresh now, new game. Yeah, they made a typo somewhere. Yeah, there. Okay. New game. you can see there is a border around our cobblestone. Okay, so everything works, which is quite nice. You can see also the infinite term generation works, and it's very, very smooth. And now guys, the very last thing of this video is basically making the background of the title screen change and going back to the title screen from the gameplay. So that's, again, very easy. Just go over here. I've just pasted this bit of code over here. This one is title screen save button. So it's this one over here. We're accessing that button because, when we click it, then we have to do something, right? But first, let's take a look at changing the background image of the title screen. So first of all, I have a picture count equal to 0. And then time interval picture change is equal to 5,000. And then I basically have a window to set interval, and this is basically to ensure that all we have here is just a variable which just controls the time interval between each picture change, and that's 5 seconds, 5,000 milliseconds. So we basically have pictures is document.get elements by class name, which is title screen, and that is over here. Okay, so we're basically accessing all the pictures, because right now the pictures are like stacked up on top of each other. And so we're basically looping through all the pictures and making sure that each of them have a z index of -5, but the one that we're on, the one that we want to display, is -4, so it's going to be above every other picture. And then we want to increase the picture count. But then if the picture count is if it's larger than if it's larger than pictures the length -1, so if it like goes beyond the number of pictures, like let's say over here with 6 pictures, right? And if it's so like if picture count is 6, okay, which is and this value is 6 minus 1, which is 5. And the max value can only be 5. So basically just saying that if picture count reaches 6, then make sure the picture count is back to 0. Yeah. And then, time interval picture change, you just put it at the end of the set interval. And when we click new game button, we have to make sure that the interval doesn't happen anymore, just to make the game a bit more smooth. So we can just say time interval picture change is equal to infinity. Okay, and the last thing is title screen save button .add event listener click. So when we click it, we just want to reload the web page. Okay, and this is going to be in the next part. We're going to have a function called save world, somewhere over here. Let's say function save world and so on, and then it's going to save the file, and then we're going to use the load game button to load that file and play that file basically. So let's just go ahead and test this final product. So save and refresh, new game. Oh no, wait, let's just stay here and let's just see if all the images load up. And I'm just going to make this equal to 1000, so 1 second, just to make it a bit faster. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and we're back. See, it just keeps going on. Yeah, here and back. All right, nice. So yeah, you can choose what time you want over here. I think 5 seconds is a good time. Make sure you don't do like 5 million, because that's 5,000 seconds, because this is in milliseconds. Okay. And yeah, so that works. Load game obviously doesn't work. Options doesn't work. New game should work. There you go. So we'll just see all the functionalities. Infinite term generation works in all sides. Yes, it does. Can I go through water? Yep. Can I break a terrain? Yes. Can I jump? Yeah, of course I can. Can I place whatever block I want? Yes. And all of this, is it saved when I come back to that chunk from a distance away? Yes, it is. Yep, it is. So, what else is there to see? Yeah. So, yeah, everything works. I guess that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed and hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next video where we code loading the game and saving the game.